Well, hello my friends, it's Shawn Petite and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Look at this beauty we're creating today. So I'm starting my project on a 12 by 12 MDF board, and I have out here 2 collage packs that will be on sale this week in the shop. But I was looking for some vintage, kind of neutral and kind of nature inspired or spring inspired to kind of go with my inspiration. And so I've cut up those collage papers and I am putting them down with some Liquitex fluid matte medium. And I'm getting good coverage on top and bottom. And one thing that I'm keeping in mind as I put my papers down is I know I'm going to have flowers in kind of the middle area, not exactly sure where, but anything that I want to kind of show up more, I'm putting on the outside edges of the substrate so that it will show. And so like butterflies or words or anything like that, I'm putting those on the outside edges. So now that I've got everything down and dry, I've got Golden's fluid acrylic out in teal and in sap green. And sap green is this rich, wonderful green color. And fluid acrylic's already fluid, so it's perfect for kind of doing a wash or puddling like I'm doing. And I'm just going to layer up that sap green and the teal together and just kind of create some messy puddles. And that darkness is crucial behind the flowers so that they really stand out. I'm coming back in with 2 stencils, the spring leaves stencil and the garden 2 stencil, and just kind of picking up some of that paint. It's still all very wet, and I'm trying to get the impression of leaves without it actually being a leaf. And some of those will fade out, some will stay. I'm scratching in the paint to kind of get some leaf impressions. I just wanted them to be really, really natural and kind of loose. I grabbed some of that fluid acrylic and just kind of painted it on, again, real loosely. You can barely make out that they're leaves, and I'm doing it in the green and the teal. And now I'm going to come back over and layer up my paint again like I did in the beginning, just making puddles and kind of a mess. So now I'm coming back with my stencils, and I'm using, I think, 3 or 4 different stencils. I'm using Blick's matte acrylic in 2 different tones of grays, and the supplies will be listed down below in the YouTube description box. But I'm using the darker gray first and then the lighter gray second. And as I stencil the first layer, then I pick up my stencil and I turn it so that it's different from the base layer stencil, and oh my goodness, I love it. I'm like, why have I not been doing this? It's just fantastic. I can't wait to do this again, especially with flowers, because it gives it this real depth You've got that darker color underneath, and it just really fills the flowers in so beautifully. I mean, just as they are, it's fantastic. And so you can see the two different patterns underneath, and I make sure to kind of offset it a little bit or turn it differently so that it's different from the base layer. And the matte paint is wonderful for this application because it dries fast and then it's easy to paint on top of. So I use the Mum stencil, the large rose stencil. This is the vintage Dahlia stencil or bellflower stencil. I don't know. Again, they'll all be listed down below. The link is to the blog. So now that I've got all of my flowers stenciled, look at how gorgeous they look. I'm coming back with Deco Art Crackle paint. And I know if you've been around me, you know this is one of my favorite mediums. And I'm literally going over what I've already stenciled. I'm not adding a whole lot to it because it was so beautiful the way that it was. But I wanted that kind of crackly goodness on top, that unexpected little bit of goodness. And so I'm just going to go over all the flowers with my crackle paint. I'm going to add just some little bits of dots, flowers, just some kind of free form to kind of extend those flowers out because it was looking too uniform and too much all right in the middle, and I wanted it to have some freedom. And so I'm just going to add a little bit of that around the flowers. So now I want to help bring out, it's dried and the crackles are fantastic, and I want some depth and dimension, plus that acrylic ink is light enough that it's going to give it this kind of vintage feel without taking away from the magnificence of the flowers. Plus that ink over that crackle, it seeps into that crackle and it just shows it off so beautifully. This is Liquitex acrylic ink, and it is perfect. It's a transparent raw umber. So again, all the supplies will be listed on the blog, and the link to the blog is down below in the YouTube description box. So now that it's dry, I'm just going to do some shading, simple shading. I'm not going to do a ton of shading with my charcoal pencil. I'll do marks and different things like that, but I'm going to go back over the leaves with several different layers of marks to kind of bring them out a little bit, to kind of define them a little bit more. It was looking a little too free for me. I wanted a little bit more shape. And so I'm kind of doing that real casually and then adding some highlights and lowlights in the leaves to kind of bring them out and make them pop. And adding that kind of teal back in, because you really kind of don't see that very much now. And everything was looking rather green. And so I'm going to bring some of that teal out. And then I'm just going to really make some kind of loose shapes around with my charcoal pencil. And I hope you stick around for the conversation at the end. The piece is called A New Day. And I know this is Easter Sunday, and when I publish this, and not everybody celebrates Easter. I understand that, but for me, it's kind of a big holiday. And when I was thinking about it, I was thinking about the hope and the newness that comes with Easter or Passover, and so that was the inspiration. But I share in the conversation at the end how a new day can mean so many things, even if you don't celebrate Easter, what it can mean for you and hope. And so I hope you stick around for that. So this project was super easy. So easy. I want I want to do so many more like this because it was so easy. So I hope you give it a try and you're inspired by it. If you enjoyed today's project, I hope you subscribe and like and share and all those wonderful things, and I will see you next week. Well, hello, loves, and happy Sunday to you. Oh, the crackly goodness on this just is so good. I had so much fun. I did things a lot differently on this piece than I've done before. And the double layers of the stenciling, I'm like, why have I never done this before? Anyway, it happened. I was thinking about it like in the middle of the night. I get ideas in the middle of the night. I often will write things down, but for whatever reason, a couple nights ago or whatever, I was thinking about this. I'm like, what if I did this? So I decided to try it, and it works, and I love it. And oh my gosh, so great. What a great way to use your stencils. So anyway, super excited. Went over everything in the video. The 2 collage packs that I used for the backgrounds will be on sale this week, and the stencils that I used, there are 4 of them. 4 or 5 of them, because I started out with 2, and then of course I'm like, I need more. So I think there's 5 stencils. Those will be on sale this week. And that's it. A new workshop is coming out soon. You're gonna love it, so keep an eye out for that. And then the inspiration behind this piece. Well, for us here in the US, it is Easter Sunday when you see this. And I know a lot of people don't celebrate Easter, and some celebrate Passover or whatever. But for me, Easter is kind of a thing, a big deal. And so I wanted to paint what Easter represents for me. And you could use this, you know, if you don't celebrate or whatever, you could use this as just, you know, creating. And but the message I put on here was a new day and then hope. And that's, for me, Easter is hope. And it represents a new beginning. And we can all celebrate a new beginning, no matter what faith we celebrate, or, you know, all of those kinds of things. We can all celebrate a new beginning. And sometimes every day is the new beginning. Sometimes we have large milestones in our lives that are new beginnings, new jobs, new relationships, kids leaving, all different kinds of things, health things that are a new day. But we can celebrate those new beginnings because we get to choose for that day how we react to what's coming at us, what we celebrate, what we let go of. Every day is a new beginning, and we get to choose how we walk through that day. And so I just really quickly, I don't have a long conversation or inspiration. I just wanted to paint for me what Easter celebration meant for me, and it can apply for you too, the new day and hope. Gosh, we all need a new day. We all need a new beginning. We all need hope. I'm feeling hopeful about so many things for 2020 after a long, hard year of 2021. And then just being with my family and keeping my mind on what is good and what is hopeful, and the new beginnings in my life, and what my faith and what Easter represents is that new beginning. And so we can all celebrate that no matter what we celebrate. And so that is it. Super simple conversation and inspiration, but I wanted to paint this out for me. This is really, really personal for me as we celebrate Easter today. And that is it, my friends. Love this piece. Take a look at the close-ups, the crackle on this. Let me see if I can bring it in. I don't see if my camera will focus. It is just so yummy good. Oh, I just love it. But I'll have, of course, close-up photos on the blog, and after the video. All the supplies and everything are listed on the blog. The link to the blog's down below in the YouTube description box. The YouTube description box is with the little arrows. I get questions asked every week, like, where's the supplies? It's in the description box. So, all right, loves, I hope you celebrate your new beginning today. I hope you celebrate hope. I hope you find your pace throughout your new day so that you can choose what you respond to, how you respond, what you let go to, what you want to do for you, for yourself, for your family, for those around you, the good that you can do for your new beginning day. And rest in that. Rest today in your hope. All right, my friends, have a wonderful Sunday, and always, always know that you are loved.